Someone I don't know has been calling me all day on the phone. It's an unknown number, and I hate taking calls when I'm not sure who is calling. It can be a person I know because most of my friends and my relatives have my number and they are already in my contact list. Someone must need me for something really important because they keep on calling and calling and calling and calling. A stalker could be trying to reach me on the phone, or it can be a bank employee. They might be trying to offer me a loan or a credit card. They do that all the time, right? Someone could be trying to get in touch with me to give me some really good news. I might be the winner of an important award, or they might be trying to give me a prize. But what if it's some really bad news? Someone I know can have a problem and they may need me to do something urgent. It could be anything. Hello guys and welcome to a new unit of our English course. Today, the name of this lesson is Let's Speculate with Modal Verbs. What is the objective of this class? What is the objective of this unit? We're going to learn how to make speculations using modal verbs depending on the degree of certainty that we have. The first thing we need to know is what is the meaning of speculation or what is speculate? In this case, when we talk about speculations or when we talk about speculate, the meaning of speculate is to answer questions without having enough evidence. You're going to answer questions without knowing the real answers. That is a speculation. That means that what we're going to do when we speculate is guess. And how are we going to do that? What are we going to use to speculate? We're going to use modal verbs depending on the certainty that we have. Sometimes we're going to have more certainty, and so we're going to use must. And sometimes we're not going to have so much certainty, so we're going to use may, not, or might not, could, and sometimes we're going to have just a little bit of certainty, and in that case, we're going to use can. What do you have to remember? What is really important here today? That you remember the structure of the sentences with modal verbs. First, we use the subject. Then we use the modal verb. And if the sentence is negative, we use not. And then we use the base form of the verb. Subject plus the modal verb. It can be must or may or might, may not or might not, could or can't, and then we use the base form of the verb. Let's use must. We use must when we have 99% certainty that something is true, possible, or likely in situations in the present or the future. For example, I have a question here. Why is there such a long queue in the front of the Chinese restaurant in the corner? A queue is this what people are doing in the picture. They are making a line. I've heard many people say good things about it, and it has excellent reviews on Google. The food must be delicious. Generally, people make lines or people queue in front of restaurants that are very good. So the food must be good. I am 99% sure that the food is delicious. That's why I say that the food must be delicious. People must like Chinese food in this neighborhood. Yeah, why not? I am 99% sure, I have a certainty of 99% that people in this neighborhood like Chinese food. People must like Chinese food in this neighborhood. Or I can also say another speculation is that the chef must be excellent. I am 99% sure that the chef is a great chef. Is an excellent chef. So I use must. Another example of must. Why is Angela crying? Well, Angela is a very nice person. And we want to know why she is crying. But I haven't talked to her. I don't have any evidence, so I speculate. I can say that she must have a problem. People generally cry when they have problems. That's why I say that she must have a problem. I don't have any evidence. I haven't talked to her, but I can say because of what I know that she must have a problem. I have a certainty of 99% that she has a problem. Her parents left Colombia and they are now living in Canada, so she must miss them a lot. That's why she is crying. Because very much possibly, she misses her parents, and that's why she is crying. She must miss her parents. Why has Margaret been handing over flyers on the street? I haven't talked to her, I haven't talked to Margaret. I don't have any evidence, so what I do is speculate. Her dog Pancho got lost last week. She must be sad about it. She must be trying to find it. I am 99% sure that the reason why she has been handing over flies on the street is because she is sad about the loss of her dog and because she is very much probably trying to find it. I use must to say that I have certainty of 99% that she is sad, and I use must because I know that very much probably I am 99% sure that she's trying to find her dog. Now let's see how we use may not and might not. In this case, we use these two verbs when we have a certainty of 30 to 50%. We are 30 to 50% sure that something is true or something is possible or likely. Let's see some examples. What are your plans for New Year's Eve? This is a question, and these are some of the answers I've gotten. I might spend it with my family. We haven't discussed it yet. I don't know what we're going to do. So what I do is I use might to speculate what I'm going to do. My grandmother may roast a turkey, but she hasn't confirmed it. I have an idea of what probably is going to happen in New Year's Eve, but I don't know, so I use may or may not or might not to say what are my plans. My friends may go to a party after midnight on New Year's Eve, but they haven't mentioned it and we haven't actually talked about it. So I use may to say what possibly or probably is going to happen. I might join them, but we have no plans, we haven't talked about it, we haven't discussed it, so I say that I might join them because it's possible. That night, Jane might not wear the fancy dress that she bought. It's a possibility. Probably she's going to wear the fancy dress she bought, but maybe not. She may not like the dress that much now. I know that she liked it in the past, but I'm not actually sure how much she likes it now. So I use may in this case to say that I have a certainty of 30 to 50% that something is going to happen, that something is possible or likely. Could is very similar to may and might. In this case, we also have a possibility, we also have a certainty that something is true or possible or likely of 30 to 50%. Let's see some examples. Have you heard the new teacher's accent? It sounds Asian. We have a new teacher and we have heard the way he speaks, but we don't actually know where he comes from. We haven't talked to him and we haven't asked him where he was born or where he comes from. So we speculate. I don't think he comes from a Latin American country. He could come from Korea or China because of the way he looks and because of his accent. I have 30 to 50% certainty that he comes from Korea or China, but I'm not actually sure. He could also be Brazilian. There are around 2 million Japanese people living in Brazil. There is such a big community of Japanese people in Brazil that I can imagine that the new teacher comes from Brazil. That's why I use could and I use be. Or he could be American too, because his name is Fred Johnson Lee. His name sounds American, so I can say that probably he comes from the United States. And finally, we have can't. We use can't when we have a certainty of only 1% that something is true, possible, or likely. Or you can say that you have 99% certainty that something is not true or something is not possible or is not likely. Are you hungry? I ask my friend, and he says, yes. And I say, you can't be hungry. You've just had lunch. People generally are not hungry after they had their meals. So I can say that I am 99% sure that he is not hungry. So I say you can't be hungry because it's almost impossible that he is hungry. There is somebody knocking at the door now. Do you know who it is? It can't be my brother because he lives in Medellin. So I am 99% sure that the person who is knocking on the door is not my brother. I use can't to say that I am almost absolutely certain that he is not the person who is knocking on my door. The students in my course look upset. They don't have a happy face. They are a little bit angry. What is happening to them? They can't be happy with the results of the exam. They got bad grades. I am 99% sure that they are not happy because they got really bad grades in the exam. I know that because of the results of the exam, they are not feeling well, they're not feeling satisfied. So I can say that they can't be happy. I haven't talked to them. I haven't asked them how they feel. I don't have any real evidence of how they feel. But because I know them, I speculate, and because I know the results of the grades and the exams, I can speculate and I can say that I am almost 99% sure that they are not happy. So I say they can't be happy with the results of the exam. So these are the use of modal verbs for speculating in situations in the present. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope you can use must, can't, may not, and might not, and could to speculate about situations in the present. Let me know your comments and questions, and see you in class.